maybe figure my notes with you. Yeah. So figure my notes back into from this kind of stuff. Also, we do today try on both. I got some of their and I got the jammers. Jammers they have touch and those and so I like for video instead of I did not. I don't have that just a lot of that thank you. I got not very sure. What so I can mean it's okay, they're like very and I see. So I think because of that, and later I read, checked out on Google, they said that it has some cold weather. Because of that, which it means I want to learn and say, oh, yeah. I really first that yes, I think it is then about go through I was a word normally, but that was it's a lot of needs so they use that that's why I'm told to like say it's just a white color के आप कितना size का क्या पता है इतना वो ना those because it can be good ज़्यादा पर्सनल भी juicy नहीं करते so medium and small ones what's later all good and of course I would for that you know and show him see this मैं चिकन नहीं करती का हाथ कभी so I feel it now but then clean करके they remove it from that black thing no I didn't mind it no और काट ना and not fine. But I just yeah, but they that also maybe 3, 4, 5 maximum. I thought now that actually really count because I think that product is already done. So your answer is to be. Then so put it under the easy much better. And then what it was maybe I came to. What's the You haven't written the answer detected by the 3.29. Sanmitra.
Yes, ma'am.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Have you done your homework? Have you done your homework?
No, ma'am.
Why?
Ma'am, I asked Mayuresh and he said that there is none.
सच्ची में मैंने इसको बोला क्लास में मेरा था तो कि नहीं
You were both there. He was there ना last time की class में.
आपने तो बोला ही नहीं सिर्फ मैं बता दिया मैंने इसको देखा हूँ
But you were present na in the class. Then I told you to do determiners.
वो ले रहे थे वो सबका मीनिंग क्या क्या है बताने के लिए
Okay, page 29. First, she is young and she's broken the he must not be able to see the board. Are you able to see the board, Sanmitra?
Yes.
It's like, yeah, so they can be. No, we can, but there is a window. No, like
Size बड़ा किया
size. Wait.
पीछे दिख रहा है हमें नहीं दिख रहा
He declines to identify herself with any tradition. F all schools of thought. G our relationship with God. H these expectations. And second exercise was in a market. In a market. One day Mula was little, was it? 500 riyals each. Each. See, my word. And E, any one of these. E is spectrum. F, the mullah. G, this is. H, this size is only okay. Don't change. H, no change. Yesterday you were selling birds only half this size. Next exercise, please. A, beat, a holiday, to a place near the sea. Every morning he went for a swim. On those days, but on some days, on most days. But now, on our books, no? Fourth one now, Savita has lost the few pens she had. You can't say the some pens, whose the is this? So you have to say the few. Now she has spent the little money. So she is giving a burden. F1 7 fourth neither 3 neither 4 another 5 1 6 most 7 several 8 enough 9 other. Now you now we do triangle surgery and then we pick up in your text. The cellular side schools. So what triumph means what? Sarmitra, are you able to hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Today actually I have a cold. I may not be able to talk loudly, but in case my volume is lower and you can't hear, just stop me at that time.
Okay. And I will just bring my book.
Yeah.
Textbook.
Triumph means what? Triumph. Or triumph. Starting with B. We do this. I'm thinking, victory. I'm thinking you're in peace. So, victory. So, a victory of surgery. So, what is the story about? We've done it now. Then, a dog. Dog's name is Lee. And what has happened to Lee? Yes, because of yes, because of his owner. Yes, what is her name? Mrs. Pumphrey. Okay, so Mrs. Pumphrey is the master or mistress, and she is overprotective, over possessive, over indulgent where her dog is concerned. Some human beings are also like that. Some parents. बच्चा छोटा है you know my neighbor, it was like when the kid was small, so I see one, the child used to be with the mobile open watching some video and the mother is sewing food in the or sometimes you might have even seen that the children are playing there on the swing and you have the caretakers and parents feeding. एक आगे again I will see overprotective or over, and you feel that why are they feeling out of love on babies? Of course, it's all out of love. They might be feeling the bachcha weak ho jayega, and you know that same child now, the one who used to be fed, who's always been fed, refuses to eat now. Even now it's the same. So what is the best way? What should the parent be doing in such a case? Not being this overprotective, and just stop feeding. Don't feed the child. When the child is hungry, they will going to stay hungry. They'll automatically. Nothing can happen with this dog and Mrs. Pumpkin was overprotective, overindulgent with the child, with the dog. And Tricky had become very unhappy. He didn't have enough of activities also. He had become unhappy. Then there was a doctor of vet who saw this happen. And he said that if this continues, your dog is going to die. He will not be able to survive. Then what does he do?
So basically, the doctor asked like peasants complaint to follow up their diet so that they can use it weight and gets back to the fine. But Mrs. Pumpkin does not follow that
Does
diet.
not follow because she feels
That like why am I supposed to starve
my dog will become weak, he'll fall sick. He's already sick. He'll fall sick. So she's not able to continue with that extra care that we actually. Then what does he suggest?
to go or like to take him to the hospital with the adults?
Yes, to take him to the hospital. Now, how does this dog get healed? Does he undergo any surgery?
No.
No, he doesn't. How does he heal? Nobody means you know something. How does he get healed? You don't know. Okay. So how does he get healed? No, I can't tell how we can. That's how you
और धीरे
and what else? And there's one more aspect. First was the diet, and the second was yes. Yes. There are other dogs also over there. So then this dog starts enjoying with the other dogs. He starts running and playing with them. He starts enjoying himself. So there was activity also and at the same time a diet also. And on the contrary, Mrs. Pumpkin didn't know what was happening, but she knew that his health was improving. So what she does is she sends a lot of wine, a lot of eggs, thinking that it's for to keep it even better on them. But ultimately, what happens is the doctor and all his the people in the surgery over there in the clinic, they eat it. Because it wasn't meant to be for the dog. We are not supposed to have so much of it. So that's why they started. And ultimately he is fine, the dog heals and the dog is sent back to the master. So a triumph of surgery. And we can see so when you are getting tricky, a small dog is pampered and overfed by his rich people. He falls seriously ill and his mistress consults a veterinary surgeon. Does he perform an operation? Does the dog recover? Does he perform any operation? No. Does the dog recover? Yes. So this actually, at the end, why the name triumph of surgery? That it was a big way to send him to the clinic. He recovered much better there than it would be at his own house. And so surgery, you can consider it to be not an operation, but surgery in the condition, yes, of the clinic, the hospitalization. And also there is one more aspect to it, that triumph of surgery, it is this lady who says, Humphrey said at the end that this is a triumph of surgery. So it can also be interpreted like this, that she did not know that there was no surgery, that there was no surgery was healing only by regular means. So she felt that there is a surgery that was done and it was a success of surgery. So these could be the two interpretations. Okay? Because you might get a question like, is the title apt? And give your own justification and reason. So these two could be the two reasons for which the title is apt.
I was really worried about Ricky this time. I had pulled up my car when I saw him in the street with his face and I was shocked at his appearance. He had become hugely fat, like a bloated sausage, with a leg at each corner. His eyes regard short and gloomy, set straight ahead and his tongue lolled from his jaws.
His eyes bloodshot very red. Red. Doesn't have the text from there. Why? You are writing the words.
Mrs. Buckley hasn't explained.
Rumi. The words are bloodshot and rumi. Rumi means watery. So how was the appearance of Ricky? He had started looking like a bloated sausage with legs on each corner, and his eyes were bloodshot. They were red because he was sick, basically. How does it happen when you are unwell? Your eyes will be red, they'll start watching always. So they were red, bloodshot and really stale. And his tongue lolled from his jaws. Rolled out of his rolled out of his jaws. Because he always must be getting breathless. So that was his state. His tongue rolled out in his head. Who has attended? See here, you can see this picture. This one here. His jaw, and his jaw is a tongue comes out like this. Dogs can operate in precedent. There are no little needed this. Lord means Lord means roll out. Sausage is made or not? Yes. Sausage is it's made out of chicken or pork also. It's processed. And this is like cylindrical string shape. So he looks literally like a sausage with 4 legs on each corner.
Mrs. Buckley asked him to explain. He was so listless, the Harriet. He seemed to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. So I have been giving him something extra between meals to build him up. Some malt and cod liver oil and a bowl of olives at night to make him sleep. Nothing much really.
So see, is he in any way malnourished?
No.
He is overnourished. So she hastened to explain he was so listless. Listless is lacking any energy. Huh? He was listless, but it was not because of being malnourished. Mrs. Harriet, Mr. Harriet, he seems to have no energy. I thought he must be suffering from malnutrition. So what had she been doing? She had been giving him little extras between meals, extra food between snacks between meals. Some malt, cod liver oil, and a bowl of horlicks plus that at night. So already she had been giving him so much, and she says nothing much, just this much. Then next question. What is this? Lacking energy is given at the back. I don't know if you know this. Even kids audience don't have some kind of a grain powder needed to go powder. Somewhat on the same level. They have fiber. क्या बोल रहे हैं? Okay, then. You cut down on the three things that I told you. And if for a bit, but he needs to be okay. I had to relent. I had to relent. Relent means I had to give in. Relent means I tried not to give him any chocolate, but he became weak, so I had to give him chocolate. Bichara, he was getting so weak without chocolate, so I had to give it to him. She does love cream cakes and chocolates, so I can't bear to refuse it. I looked down again at the little dog. That was a trouble. The only fault was me. He had never been known to refuse food. He would tackle a meal at any hour of the day and night. And I wonder about all the things Mrs. Pomfrey didn't mention. I wondered about all the things Mrs. Pomfrey hadn't mentioned, please. Like homework she would have given and all that she did not mention Mrs. James. So she spoke about what chocolates or the malt or the Horlicks. What else did she speak about? Cod liver oil. So these are the things that she spoke about, but there must be so many that she's not told me as yet that she must have been giving him. Then next week, are you giving him plenty of exercise? Well, has he little walk? He has little walks with me. You can see that Hodgkin. Has been shouted love bad. By the way, behind it just here. Muscular pain in the lower part of the back. The lower. So there has been no flowing. So who Hodgkin? The partner who used to play with doing no that they go and the dog goes and catches. So even that wasn't happening. I tried to sound here. Now I'm hearing mentioned. We need this. I need this. If you don't cut his food right now and give him more exercise, he is going to be very ill. You must harden your heart and keep it on a very strict level. Mrs. No, next. Mrs. Feeding. अरे पढ़ो I thought today was not. You thought today I will teach maths? No, I'm going to teach you maths next time you don't get it. Anyway, it was on the board. I will have explained something of that. I see that. Good. So yours is very, very good. Why you're good? Don't think too much. Don't think I thought you will teach this, I thought you will teach that. Just bring go the मत सोचो. खाली के लिए सोचने को बहुत कुछ है. Okay, so then, so what does he suggest? That you better keep him on a very strict diet, otherwise he is going to fall seriously ill. Compare. Hands. Bringing hands means which energy in that. You mean bringing your hands is doing this. Like when you're worried about something, because he had now told her something that was a cause of worry. At least she's also getting worried. Right? So this is called bringing of hands. So she wrung her hands, but the photo, her hands are washed. She's already finished wringing her hands. Yeah, in the photo her hands are. But wringing is actually done. So, oh, and then Mr. Herrick, I'm sure you are right, but it is so difficult, so very difficult. She set off head down along the road as if determined to put the new regime. Regime is like this schedule, the timetable that she was going to follow with Tricky. Then
Their progress was very constant. It was totally
has been going concern. He was totally no, totally is walking, but in like not in a steady manner, unsteadily. In his little creed book, creed is like thick material, like wool. He had a whole wardrobe of these clothes. See the dog. He had a whole, even we may not have so many, a whole wardrobe of these clothes for the cold weather, raincoat for the wet days. And he struggled on moving in his harness. Harness is what the leash. Okay, the what is that? Rope, the patta. So he was drooping because he couldn't even walk properly, couldn't carry his weight. So he used to be drooping in his harness. I thought it wouldn't be long before I heard from Mrs. Pump, because in what sense? He knew that she would contact him again because his health would deteriorate. It hadn't improved in any. Then, what is drooping is bearing his weight on means falling down. Actually, it's not falling also in this case, no? They just
support even start at this point.
Yeah. It's like hanging. But don't write it was hanging with harness. He needed that support of that the rope, the harness. The expected fall. Means walking unsteadily. Unsteadily, walking with unsteady steps. How a baby walks, no?
Unstable and like needs is
So,
not solid.
yeah, from which we need support, and you see that they will fall at any time. So that's why they're called tiny thoughts, because they keep torturing, they walk like that. They even slower at it. No, walking with unsteady steps. Then we try writing the meanings, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Then the expected call came within 2 days. Mrs. Complaint was this stop. He nothing. He used even his favorite dishes, and besides, he had cause of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on the rug, panting. Didn't want to go to walk. Didn't want to go for a walk. Didn't want to do anything. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Ricky out of the house for a period. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight. He was kept under observation. The poor lady almost swooned. She was told he would find and die if he didn't see her every day. But I took him home night. He was very ill, and this was the only way to save him. In fact, I thought it best to take him without delay, and followed by Mrs. Complaint. I marched out to the car carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. So I watched their progress with growing concern and awareness. The expected call came within a few days. Expected call from Mrs. Humphrey. Mrs. Pumphrey was distraught. Distraught means she was very worried. She was upset. She was worried about something. Why was she worried? Vicky had stopped eating. Vicky would eat nothing. Refused even his favorite dishes. And besides, he had bouts of vomiting. He spent all his time lying on the rug, panting. Panting is again breathless. Didn't want to go for walks. Didn't want to do anything. I had made my plans in advance. We knew this, that he is going to, there was a need that he would be coming there. I had made my plans in advance. The only way was to get Chicky out of the house for a period. Why? Because in the time she was with mistress, there was no chance that anything would have happened. So the only way was to get him out of the house. I suggested that he be hospitalized for about a fortnight to be kept under observation. Fortnight is 15 days. So he said for 15 days I would want to let the hospital. The poor lady almost swooned, fainted. How am I going to live without my dog, my pet? It happened with many parents also. My maid, she goes to another house. So it was like those children who had just started going to play school. So she was like that the mothers are much more worried about their children. They can't stay without them. They used to stay there for 2 hours till the time the child used to not finish with their whatever play school and then home. So because of the overprotectiveness, although that again stems that arises out of love only, it's all out of love, but still it's not good. So the poor lady almost swooned, almost fainted. She was sure he would pine and die if he did not see her every day. But I took a firm line. I took a firm line means yes, I was firm with my decision. Vicky was very ill, and this was the only way to save him. In fact, I thought it best to take him without delay, to take him immediately. And followed by Mrs. Pumphrey's wailings. Wailings are crying. I marched out to the car carrying the little dog wrapped in a blanket. He would pine and die. He would pine and die. Pine means he would be in a lot of pain because he would miss her. He would miss her. Leave her or miss her. Leave her or miss her, leave her and miss. He would miss her so much that he would pine and die. Pine is he would be in deep pain. And the entire staff.
The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in and out, bringing his day bed, his night bed, favorites, cushions, toys and rubber rings, breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away as I moved off Mr. Pumphrey with the
Mrs. Pumphrey. Mrs. Pumphrey. Mrs. You said Mr.
सच में
इसमें भी react किया same time with CBSE.
yes.
Okay.
With a despairing cry, with an armful of the little boots to the window, I looked in the mirror before I turned the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears. Out on the road, I glanced down at the pathetic little animal gasping on the seat. By my side, I tightened the thread and quickly with a brave effort to wag his tail to her old dad. I said, you haven't in you, but I think I know a cure for.
The entire staff was roused. Roused means constant motion, doing something or the other. The entire staff was roused and maids rushed in. Why were they all roused?
Because they were getting on the supplies for people stay at the office.
How would we have lived without all those?
Just stuff
the
about
suburbs?
the town is not with
Yeah. Because we see she remembers very well giving an exam on that chapter. So the entire staff was roused and roused means they were in constant movement, doing something or the other. Hmm. The entire staff was roused, maids rushed in and out, bringing his day bed, his night bed, his favorite cushions, his toys, his rubber range, his breakfast bowl, lunch bowl, supper bowl. We also eat in one bowl only. One also same, night also same. Realizing that us also, yeah, actually. Realizing that my car would never hold all the stuff, I started to drive away because we were dumping so many things into the car that he thought I'm not going to be able to accommodate all these things. He just drove away. That's protected. You want that this? That's
Not
That's-
necessarily. I understand.
That's right. It depends actually on the owner, how they keep it.
How they
That's
are
like
like we alone. If they don't want company.
You had one? What happened?
I'll yeah, you like a poster of my
That's seriously. Okay. As I moved off, Mrs. Pumphrey with a despairing cry, despairing is, you can say, a painful cry, threw an armful of the little coats to the window. I looked in the mirror before I turned to the corner. It's actually written that before I turned the corner of the drive. I think it should be turned to the corner of the drive. Everybody was in tears. Turn to the corner of the drive means when he reached the turning, he kept looking at the mirror and then he turned and went ahead. And everyone was crying. Next. This was clear. Out on the road, I glanced down at the pathetic little animal. Pathetic little animal is sad poor little animal, sad little animal, gasping on the seat by my side. Next, because yes, sad state, like that. It was in a very sad state. Animal gasping on the seat by my side. Gasping is again breathless, gasping for breath. So what is it? What is the difference between gasping and panting? They're almost the same. Gasping is you're doing this, and panting is you're doing that. I just like different. So on the seat by my side, I patted the head and Jiggy made a brave effort to pat his tail. See, brave effort because he had become so listless, so his energy was lacking to such an extent that even to wag his tail, he had to make a great effort. Poor old lad, I said. Lad is generally for boys, we say lad. Poor old lad, boy. But here we are referring to the girl. Poor old lad, I said. You haven't a kick in you. Kick in you means you don't have even any energy left in you. But I think I know a cure. Okay, then at the surgery.
At the surgery, the household doctor stood around.
Doctor.
Sorry. The household dog stood around me. Ricky looked down at the noisy cat with dull eyes and when put down, lay motionless on the carpet with other dogs after 9 feet. Around him for a few seconds, decided he was an uninteresting object and ignored it.
Read the end of that.
I made up a bed for him in a warm loose box next to one where the other dogs slept. For 2 days, I kept an eye on him. giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surrounding, and on the third day, he began to whimper when he heard the dogs in the yard. When I opened the door, Ricky moved out and trotted out and was immediately engulfed by John, the greyhound, and his friend after him came over and threw him, expecting the dogs moved off the garden. Ricky followed them and rolling slightly with his circus cart. Later that day, I was present at the feeding time. I watched while the fisher stowed the food into the boats. There was the usual headlong rush followed by the sound of ice cream beating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he would enable.
He was dying. That's right.
He was dying, so he had some competition for the last part of his meal.
So at the surgery, the household dogs searched around me means there was this new entrant in the house, no? So everyone wanted to know who this new member was. So searched, is it behind? No, searched is not. You can see moved around him. So the household dog searched around him. Tricky looked down at the noisy pack of dogs that were already there. With dull eyes. Who had dull eyes? Not the pack, but Tricky watched the noisy pack with dull eyes. When put down, lay motionless on the carpet. So this was his condition when he was front. The other dogs, after sniffing around him for a few seconds, decided that he was an uninteresting object and ignored him because he wasn't doing anything, he wasn't playing with them, not responding to them. So they did not find him very interesting and they left him and went. I made up a bed for him in the warm loose box next to the one where the other dogs slept. So he was now where the other dogs were. For 2 days, I kept an eye on him. Keeping an eye on something means being watchful, observing. Giving him no food but plenty of water. At the end of the second day, he started to show some interest in his surroundings. And on the third day, he began to whimper when he heard the other dogs play. Whimper is what sound? Yeah, like the crying sound that dogs make, no? What is that? Like that. Oh, whatever, some word. So, because why he must be whimpering? He used to see those dogs. He must have wanted to go and play, but he cannot play. So he was crying, whimpering. So he started whimpering when he heard the other dogs play. When I opened the door, Chicky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe the greyhound. See, greyhound is, see that picture behind, that the big dog that you can see, the long one. That's a greyhound. So engulfed means covered. It's a big dog, no? So that's why that greyhound literally covered Chicky. Chicky was a small dog and the greyhound is a big one. So Chicky trotted out and was immediately engulfed by Joe, the greyhound, and his friends. After rolling him over and thoroughly inspecting him, the dogs moved off down the garden. So then they went down to the garden. Tricky followed them, rolling slightly with his surplus fat. So he was running, maybe he was falling, rolling, again playing with them. Surplus fat means extra. Surplus means extra. Extra fat. Later that day, I was present. Anyone covered? horse trots. Running, jumping, running and jumping. Jumping or running like a horse. You know how a horse trots? Not runs, when it gallops. Walks. Yes, kind of walks, not the run. We began to then. Rolling slightly with the surface. Actually, I read out any words. Okay, last time, last para. Later that day, I was present at feeling that. I watched while Tristan slot the food into the holes. There was the usual headlong rush, followed by the sound of, okay, so this Tristan might have been some kind of a helper who must be putting food in the holes. There was the usual headlong rush, followed by the sounds of high-speed eating. So the moment the food is in the bowl, the dogs will lap it up. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was liable to have some competition for the last part of the meal. Means what? Every dog knew that if I am slow in eating, there might be some other dog that finishes his food and then he comes to my bowl and eats up my food. That's what it means. Yeah, read it again. There was a usual headlong rush followed by sounds of high-speed eating. Every dog knew that if he fell behind the others, he was slower than the others. He was liable to have some competition for the last part of the day. Tanvitra,
Yes, ma'am. What?
continue.
Okay, ma'am. When they had finished, Tricky took a walk around the shining bowls, licking casually inside one or two of them. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. From then on, his progress was rapid. He had no medical treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. He discovered the joys of being bowled over, tramped on, and squashed every few minutes. He became an accepted member of the gang, an unlikely, silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at meal times and hunting rats in the old hen house at the night. He had never had such a time in his life.
Otherwise,
All the while, Miss Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background, ringing a dozen times a day for the latest bulletins. I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat worn according to the weather, but I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and convalescing rapidly. The word convalescing seemed to do something to Miss Pumphrey. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time, to build up Tricky's strength. For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs, each for breakfast. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. It was to enrich Tricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion with 2 glasses of wine before and several during the meal.
so when they had finished, he took a walk around the shining bowl, making casually inside one or two of them. So now there was some movement that had started. He had started becoming more active. Next day, an extra bowl was put out for him, and I was pleased to see him jostling his way towards it. Jostling is like hopping and running and going towards it, happily. Hopping and running. Happily walking towards it. Defense. From then on, his progress was rapid. Rapid is It was now faster. It took up speed. He had no medicinal treatment, right? There were no medicines given to him. He had no medicinal treatment of any kind, but all day he ran about with the dogs, joining in their friendly scrimmages. Scrimmages, right down over there, confused struggles and fights. Confused struggles and fights. So they're playing with them basically. Right? So he used to play with them. He discovered the joys of being bowled over. Bowled over means when something unexpected happens with you, of being surprised, stamped on, and squashed every few minutes. Stamped on is how dogs play with each other, they jump on each other, they push each other, all that. He started enjoying that. He became an accepted member of the gang, an unlikely, silky little object among the shaggy crew, fighting like a tiger for his share at mealtime. So now he has become very active. He has become a part of the gang. Fighting for like a tiger for his share at mealtimes and hunting rats in the old hen house at night. He had never had such a time in his life. All the while, Mrs. Pumphrey hovered anxiously in the background. Hovering means she was always around. Hovering actually means moving in circles. Huh? Like how a bee or a mosquito will hover around you all the time. So that's hovering. So here now, Mrs. Pumphrey was always there around. Ringing a dozen times for the latest bulletins. Bulletins is latest news, latest information about Rakhi. I dodged the questions. Dodged is I avoided answering them. Okay, I dodged the questions about whether his cushions were being turned regularly or his correct coat was worn according to the weather. Right? Was that important now? Was the coat and all that important? No. So that's why he avoided answering those questions. But I was able to tell. I was able to tell her that the little fellow was out of danger and was convalescing rapidly. Convalescing is recovering fast. Okay. Convalescing, recovering fast. See, there are two similar words. One is convulsions. Convulsions are fits. Okay, fits क्या होता है ना? It's not to control. It's shiver होता है body. It's not out of cold, but that's something to do with the mind. So where they can't control and you get fits. So this is not convulsions. This is convalescence. That is healing part, recovering. Now what did Mrs. Pumphrey do when she came to know that he was convalescing? She again started. What she started saying? Who does the names at a time and why? So the word convalescing came to do something to Mrs. Pumphrey. She started to bring round fresh eggs, 2 dozen at a time for this tiny little dog to build up his strength, but he had already built up his strength. For a happy period, my partners and I had 2 eggs each for breakfast. So there were those eggs going. Yes, Harriet and his people. But when the bottles of wine began to arrive, the real possibilities of the situation began to dawn on the household. When the wine was sent, they actually understood why this is being sent. And why was the wine being sent? To enrich Tricky's blood. Lunch became a ceremonial occasion. For whom? For Harriet and his people. With 2 glasses of wine before and after several during the meal. Yes.
We could hardly believe it when the brandy came to put a final edge on Ricky's contribution. For a few nights, the fine spirit was rolled around, inhaled, and reverently drunk. There were days of deep content, starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improving the steam for the midday wine, and finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. It was an temptation. So, it was a temptation to keep Priti on as a permanent guest, but I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering. And after a fortnight, felt told and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting corrections. Within minutes, about 30 feet of bleeding black metal blew up outside his nursery. The chauffeur, opened the door and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey, almost crossing the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her. Her lips trembled. Oh, Mrs. Harriet, do tell me. Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better? Yes, he's fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was bundling around and round the lawn, and in their midst, ears flapping, tail waving, was little golden figure of Ricky. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a light, hard-muscled animal. He was keeping up well with the pack, stretching out his great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open, and when he saw his distress, he took off from my arms and reclining his feet and stared into the concrete lap. She gave a startled poo and then had to defend herself and the storm over her, licking her face and barking. During the excitement, I held the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushion, and bowls, none of which had been used. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window, tears showed in her eyes, her lips trembled. Oh, Mr. Harriet, she cried, how can I ever thank you? This is a triumph of society.
Where did you start?
The patient.
We could hardly. So now what started coming?
Dogs in
No, actually, even primarily, it has medicine purposes. You can have, I know my aunt, she's no more. She was a doctor. And my uncle, he's also a doctor. Very good senior doctor at from years. So we've gone out together. He used to give her brandy with homework. And she was her diabetes, very high diabetes, insulin injections and all that. So, to an extent, all these things, even wine, to an extent, I said, but to an extent, they all medicinal for the yeah.
But this is very
important. So I could hardly believe it when the brandy came with the final edge on Chicky's constitution. For the first few nights, the fine spiritus, the brandy, was rolled around, inhaled, and never in deep ground. Means they all very nicely had it. They were days of deep content. Deep content for whom? For Harriet and his people. Starting well with the extra egg in the morning, improved and sustained by the midday wine, finishing luxuriously round the fire with the brandy. It was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest. What was the temptation? What was the temptation? Yes, all the treats that they were getting, which were not supposed to be for them, but it was a treat for them. So that was a temptation to keep Tricky on as a permanent guest. But I knew Mrs. Pumphrey was suffering. And after a fortnight again, how many days? 2 days. After a fortnight, felt compelled. Compelled is forced to phone and tell her that the little dog had recovered and was awaiting correction. He couldn't keep it for long. Within minutes, about 30 feet of gleaming black metal. What is this that we are talking about? The car. The car. क्या बोलिए? हाँ, limousine. 33 of usually black net go up outside the surgery, outside the hospital, outside the clinic. The chauffeur is who the driver. The chauffeur opened the door, and I could just make out the figure of Mrs. Pumphrey almost lost in the interior of the car, because it was a huge car. So she seemed to be lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped. Clasped means yes, this. Rango is this, and clasp is this. Right. Huh? Dawn, dusk and dawn. That's but then you don't know even. Dawn. Page number 4, third as dawn here. Okay.
Fourth page.
Began to dawn on the household. He began to realize, the household realized, here began to dawn, to realize. So, never be now. Lost in the interior. Her hands were tightly clasped in front of her, her lips trembled. Oh, Mr. Harriet, do tell me the truth. Is he really better? Yes, he's fine. There's no need for you to get out of the car. I'll go and fetch him. I walked through the house into the garden. A mass of dogs was hurtling around and round the lawn in their midst, ears flapping, tails waving, and the little golden figure. So here what are we saying? That there were many dogs. Mass of dogs means there were many dogs that were running around with ears flapping, tails waving, and in the middle of them, in their midst, was Tricky. Now, the little golden figure of Tricky, how had he transformed? In 2 weeks. 2 weeks is again the same thing, fortnight. In 2 weeks, he had been transformed into a light, right down, thin and graceful. See his picture now, how it looks. And she has come to picture. Now he looks very fit. Fortnight is 15 days and 2 weeks means 14 days. So there is hard difference. Like it's okay, that's the same thing only, 14, 15 days. What time is 15? Okay. So like hard muscled animal, he was keeping up well with the pack. Keeping up well with the pack means he was running, playing around in the same way as the other dogs. He was not lagging behind the enemy. Stretching out in great bounds, his chest almost brushing the ground. So he had become very fit and healthy now. I carried him back along the passage to the front of the house. The chauffeur was still holding the car door open. Then Tricky saw, when Tricky saw his mistress, he took off from my arms. Took off means jumped off. He leapt from my arms in a tremendous leap and sailed into Mrs. Pumphrey's lap. He jumped into his mistress's lap because obviously even he was missing her. She gave a startled ooh and then had to defend herself as he swarmed over her, licking her face and barking. Swarmed over means he was literally all over her, jumping on her, licking her face, barking. During the excitement, I helped the chauffeur to bring out the beds, toys, cushions, coats, and bowls, none of which had been used. It was as it is. As the car moved away, Mrs. Pumphrey leaned out of the window. Tears shone in her eyes. Shone means shine. It is the past participle of shine. Tears shone in her eyes. Her lips trembled. Trembled because trembled is like shivering, but it was out of the excitement and the strong emotions that she was feeling at that time. Oh, Mr. Harriet, she cried, how can I ever thank you? This with a triumph of such. Nice. Chalo, now we'll take your break. Fine.
Yeah, they show like French, you pronounce it as Papa. I had a French exam today.
That's it, let's get Shaka.
Yeah.
Class and actually not able to meaning, but I don't know if study is right now. This is your ostentation. After the class. क्या होगा पढ़े क्यों ना
Over respect.
हाँ
Over respect.
हाँ इतना रिस्पेक्ट हमें आदत okay. Sanmitra doesn't have to stand. Sanmitra is relaxed in his house. Where are you sitting in your room?
Yes.
On your study table?
Yes.
Who else is there in the house?
No one.
No one. But could you pay attention? I come to know. So good. Otherwise, I would have told your parents, stop his online and start sending him. Okay. So, active passive. What is active passive? What is active passive voice?
Like first person, second person, kind of, no.
Person, second person?
No. But I know the example, but I don't know how to say it.
Okay, firstly, don't get confused with direct indirect. Direct indirect speech is different. What is direct indirect speech?
Like the action is happening, like I mentioned, action and like other way of it being mentioned by someone else. And that makes
Yeah. And you all also tell your own opinions about what you all have understood till now about active passive voice. What are we doing in active passive voice? No comments. I'll give you an example. She sang a song. We gave the answer. But technically, what are you supposed to do in this?
like passive. This is active voice.
This is active voice.
Passive.
What do you mean by active voice? This is the subject. This is the verb. This is the object. Which object is this? Direct object and indirect object. This is the direct object. How you come to know it's a direct object? You ask the question what? To get the indirect object, you ask the question who. Like my mother gave me a gift. Sanmitra, can you see this column?
No, ma'am, I can see till A. Oh,
Okay. Gave me a gift. So the subject is my mother. Gave is the verb. Gave what? What? So a gift will be the direct object. Gave whom? Me. So me will be the indirect object. I. Okay. Now, when you are talking in active voice, it tells you what the subject is doing. Okay, what the doer. Who's the doer? She. What is she doing? Singing a song. In passive voice, it is the other way around. When do you use passive voice? You use passive voice when you don't. Normally, it's always better to use active because it's short, it's clear. But you use passive voice sometimes when you don't want to focus on the doer. Like, say, if you are in your classroom, your book has got stolen. You know the child who has stolen your book. But you don't want to highlight and say that you have stolen my book. So what will you say? My book has been stolen. Means what are you focusing on? The book. And you're not focusing on you. If I say, you have stolen my book, means the attack is on you. I'm talking about you. Whereas if I say, my book has been stolen, means my book has been stolen by someone. I'm highlighting the book. That's the difference between active and passive. So basically, when you are writing a sentence in the passive voice, you write the object first and the subject afterwards with relevant changes in the verb. Tense always remains the same. In direct, indirect speech, the tense changes. What is direct, indirect speech? Direct speech, Rakhi ma'am said, how are you? Indirect speech will be, Rakhi ma'am asked how I was, right? Whereas this is active passive. So in that the tense has changed, is changes to was. In some cases in direct, indirect also the tense does not change. We'll do that when we do direct, indirect speech. Now over here, what will it change to? A song was sung by her. Here, now where you have an indirect object and a direct object, you'll have two ways of changing the sentence. I was given a gift by my mother. And the second way will be a gift. So first we have written the indirect object first, me. A gift, second way will be, yes, a gift, where you're writing the DO first. A gift was given to me by my mother. Clear? Which means if you want to change any sentence from active to passive or vice versa, you need to have an object. Without object, you cannot do it. Like for example, if you have a sentence like, he is running. Is there an object here? To find out an object, what do? You ask what or whom to the verb. So he is running. He is running what? He is running whom? Are you getting any answer? No. So there is no object here. So such sentences you cannot change. Can you say running is he? No. So it's important for you to have an object. Okay. One more concept I'll tell you. You may not have it in your syllabus, but it's connecting, so I'm telling you. A verb which has an object is transitive. You're aware of it? Transitive, or rather it is used transitively. Transitive. Whereas over here in this case, transitive means what? Passing over. So here in this case, isn't it passing over? She is passing over to this. This is passing over to the object. Passing over. Whereas here, is it passing over? No. So this is known as in transit. Okay. So only when the verb is used transitively can you have a change of voice. Otherwise, you cannot. Another example, I'll ask you. See now. The sun is shining in. Sanmitra, you're looking at the board. What are you writing?
I'm writing what you're saying.
Okay. This you're able to see this side?
Yes.
Okay. The sun is shining in the sky. Subject is?
The sun.
Verb is?
Shining.
Is shining.
Verb.
Now tell me, is this transitive or intransitive? Is there an object? Is there an object?
It's not.
Yes. In the sky is not the object. Why it is not the object?
It does not
What
answer
questions?
all.
Yes. What questions? What? Whom? What you get? Dio. Whom you get? Io. Correct? Now the sun is shining what in the sky? No. The sun is shining whom in the sky? No. The sun is shining where? In the sky. So this is not the object. So you cannot change this. You cannot say in the sky the sun is shining. Some of you all think that okay, in active passive, wo jo piche ka hai wo aage karna hai, jo aage ka hai wo piche karna hai. You mainly have to see the object and then change it. Is this clear? So in this case, this verb has been used intransitively. Or she sang a song. Tell me this. Subject is
She.
verb is
Sang.
a song is
Object.
object. Why? What type of object?
Direct.
Direct object. Why?
Because it's directly like passing on to something. Sang is like passing.
And we have asked
What?
what? So this is the view. So yes, this is transitive. So what will this change to?
A song was sung by a
Yes, a song was sung by her. Now in active passive, no, if your subject is an indefinite pronoun, like her, him, somebody, anybody, nobody, those can be omitted. You can skip that. That's why I put this in brackets. But if you write it also, it's not that it will be wrong. Okay, but you need to be aware. Now, if I just say, so this is transitively, correct? Now, if I give your sentence, she sang. Subject,
There is no object.
there is no object. You have a subject and you have a verb. You have nothing over here. So this has been used intransitively. Right? So can you change this? You cannot change.
And that there is no objective there, it is intransitive.
Yes. Where there is no object, it is intransitive. I went to the garden. Is there an object? I went to the garden.
No.
No. Why no object?
I am subject, when do they go? There is no object there.
There is no object. I went what? I went whom? No. So I went where? So where is not object. Object you only need what or whom. Okay, a noun. So understood this concept of the object? What are you actually doing in active passive? In active, you'll have the doer, which holds more importance. It tells you what the doer is doing. Okay, another example I will give you. The cat killed the rat. Here, this is active voice because it tells you what was done by the cat. What did the cat do? Kill the rat. Now, passive, what was done by the cat? By the rat, to the rat. What was done to the rat?
So the rat was killed by the cat.
Yes. The rat was killed
By the cat.
by.
That means a sentence in which a sentence can be rewrite by using the word by, we can say it is active words.
A passive. Passive. You may not have by always. Depends on the sentence.
Like which we can rewrite and use by the same.
In passive, yes, you will have a by, but it depends on that particular sentence.
In which it is no, there is a by, it is a passive. But not always.
Not always. Okay, so this one is passive, where now object we have written in the front. Remember this rule. So subject becomes object, object becomes subject. Okay, subject is as subject leads to the object is in the case of a active voice, and object first will be the passive voice. Got that clear? Now there are some tense changes also that take place. So we'll take first present tense. First, what do you have? Simple present. Present continuous. And present perfect. Okay. There is one more, present perfect continuous. Present perfect continuous has no passive voice. Present perfect continuous or any perfect continuous tense. Little on your side, right? Any perfect continuous, whether it is present, whether it is past, whether it is future, will have no passive, and also future continuous. These have no passive. Okay. So we come to these. We take one example. He writes a book. What will be the present continuous? He is writing a book. What will be the present perfect? He has written a book. Has written, is writing, and writes. Huh? How does this change to passive? A book is written by him. Okay, so your tense is not changing. Your tense remains present. It doesn't change was written. It doesn't change to was writing. The tense remains the same. He is writing a book. A book is being written. Being written by him. Being written. Okay, and is. So is tells you that it is in the present tense. Here he has written a book. A book has been written by him. What? Has been written. Now in present continuous, you will have being and present perfect be or any perfect. If it is past, okay, I'm not rubbing this because I want you to write this in your books. If it's past, what will it be? He wrote a book. A book was written by him. Past continuous, he was writing a book. A book was being written by him. He had written, past perfect, had written a book. A book had been written by him. Future simple, he will write a book. A book will be written by him. He, future continuous, he will be writing a book. A book, future continuous is not there, sorry, future continuous is not there, future perfect. Future perfect. He will have written a book. A book will have been written by him. So make this, do it in a more organized way than what I have, big columns like this and do it. And this also you could write down somewhere in the corner that these have no passives. It will become too much. So you're not working on. What has happened to this AC?
पता नहीं कल आए थे वो ठीक करने रिपेयर करने आए थे हम लोग वो क्लास कर रहे थे ये पता नहीं रिपेयर हो पाए.
That's what you're understanding. So what's the ticker? Put that also off, we'll all suffocate to death. And Kanu, I hope you are going to be
come.
ये हाँ, वो कंपनी नहीं है. That regulator button is now.
Actually, try again.
It's very tight. Even if this one is not turning. First only do present, then I'll make changes for the past, then write the same thing for past. AC बंद है. पंखा चालू है, कोई बात नहीं. You finish and you have time, make your columns for past and future also. For future, you make 2 columns. Past, 3. Mitra, you finish writing present?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh. You all are done?
Yes.
Now, for past. Open. Past. Each. Wrote a book. A book was written by him. Past continues. He was writing a book. A book was being written by him. Past perfect. He had written. A book had been. That's it.
What is the written?
This,
Yes, what
that these tenses don't have passive form. For future only you have simple future and future perfect. Finish with past. एक इधर साइड में नोट करके ली. Done. Okay, now for the future. Future. What will it be? He. What will the simple future be?
He will write.
Will write. And a book. What will this change to?
A book will
Will be written. Will be written. Continuous is not there, so just this is out. Future perfect. He had will change to future perfect. Will have written. Will have written. A book will have been written. Fine. How to convert? Is French spoken by him. See what I've done today, no, is won't cover the entire active passive voice. There are interrogatives and imperatives also, which are done differently. That we take up separately. Today's French will be is French spoken by them. Interrogatives are different. Now I'll give you some sentences which you all write and change. Write down your main question as change the voice. I'll give you one question. Change the voice. Write the sentence and leave a line for the answer. Same thing. And now, Lata sings lovely songs. Lata sings lovely songs. The right for the answer. Second sentence. We did not grow rice. We did not grow rice. Yes. They will, third one, they will run a race. Next. A house is being built by Tom. A house is being built by Tom.
He is
A house is being, B-E-I-N-G, being built by Tom. A letter was being written by me. A letter was being written by me. A letter was B-E-I-N-G, being written by me. Next one. Someone has stolen my purse. Someone has stolen my purse. Next sentence. She had finished her work. She had finished her work. She had finished. Next. She had finished her work. Next. He will be admired by people. He will be admired by people. Okay. Next. Right. The thieves have been arrested by the police. The thieves have been arrested by the police. By the police. Next. Have shipped your order. We have shipped your order. Guests enjoyed the party. The guests enjoyed the party. The child impressed everyone with his polite manners. The child impressed everyone with his polite manners. They are painting the walls. They are painting the walls. They are painting the walls. Then a girl from Chennai won the first prize. A girl from Chennai won the first prize. The car has been fixed by the mechanic. The car has been fixed by the mechanic. Well, I didn't give you any, it was just now like. I already asked you some. Tanmitra,
Yes, huh?
what's your homework?
This the questions you gave right now.
Yes. No, don't do from there because those are all mixed ones. Next class again we'll do active passive but question. Asking orally, no? That from Sanmitra. Sanmitra tells him, you have nothing to pack. These people come with back too. You are like even during class,
Ma'am,
ma'am, go and get
ma'am,
my.
ma'am, what is the? Can you repeat the first one?
No, I can't. Lata sings lovely songs. Start from you. Lovely song. No, not that. Not these. I'm giving you other example. The sun sets in the west. Anyone who will say the answer? The sun sets. Yes, straight. Whatever you say. The sun sets in the west. No one who knows? Tanmitra.
In the west, sun is set.
In the west, sun is set. मैंने इतना सिखाया क्या फायदा? It cannot be changed to passive. That's why it's not. You said the moment that's why I didn't listen to you because you don't have. Sanmitra, in the west the sun is set. There is no object.
There is no object.
There is no object, then how can you change? So from today onwards, you have to tell your parents in the west the sun is setting.
इसकी मैम को शर्म आ जाएगी।
हाँ,
मैम
मैंने-
इंग्लिश टीचर है, इसकी क्लास टीचर इंग्लिश टीचर है।
कौन?
इसकी क्लास टीचर इंग्लिश टीचर है, क्या आपको सिखाएगा?
Your class teacher is an English teacher.
हाँ।
हाँ, so tomorrow. In the west, the sun sets. But you also took so long to answer. None of you all also answered. He at least tried whatever he tried, but आपके mind में वही चल रहा होगा answer.
No, I got
In the west, the sun is set. मैंने क्या बोला? Same ना? I know. दिमाग में वही चल रहा होगा तुम लोग के लिए. Okay. Rakhi is helped by steam. Has been. Bucky is helped by steam. Steve had been helped by Bucky was helped. No? Bucky is helped by steam. It's a question. Bucky is helped by steam. Huh? Steel is being helped by them. Next, the carpenter is building a desk. Was made. Tense will remain the same. And it repeats. The carpenter is building a desk. A desk is being built by. Very good. Thank you. Good. The woodcutter cut down the tree. The woodcutter cut down the tree. Cut down the tree. Yes, got it. नहीं, past tense. The tree was
cut by the.
yes, was cut down by the woodcutter. The bird, हाँ? तेरा है ना next? अच्छा मैं तेरे को पूछ रही मगर उसको देख. The bird was shot by the naughty boy. Easy one. Very good. The bird was shot by the naughty boy. This even Sanmitra will be able to tell properly. Naughty boy. The bird was shot by the naughty boy. पहले ऑब्जेक्ट आएगा. ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है? हाँ, the naughty boy. It was a passive voice. You might make it to active. Good. The bag was found by me. Sanmitra, if you know, you can answer if they are not. The bag was found by me. Passive voice. So you have to make it. No, you said it. No. Avoid. Simple. Sanmitra, Natasha lost the money.
The money was lost by Latasha.
Very good. This all he can answer only in the west, the sun. Right. Your turn. Bolna. The farmer will plow the field. Easy. Very good. Good. Next class we'll again continue with active passive but with interrogatives and imperatives. Chalo. Bye. Homework are these sentences, huh? These 15. Bye, Sanmitra.
Bye.